Hey everybody, my name is Anderegg. I'm a Swiss choreographer. Today I make this video from my quarantine place in Seoul, South Korea. I am in a hotel. Outside there working, I hope it's not too noisy. I'm in this room for the next 14 days and each of my team members is actually. We work on a piece called Alone Together. Ironically, the title of this piece we have decided before the pandemic came, and quite ironic situation to find ourselves in. Today I share a bit about my practice and I hope you enjoy this video. In my practice I explore the interdependence of the human body and its habitat. My work can be seen as a bodily, henceforth spatial negotiation between closeness and distance. This becomes a conscious mediation between the body, the audience, the dancers, the performers, and of course the imagination. The interdisciplinary work clusters in unexpected environments such as public space, parks, private apartments, industrial halls, museum spaces, and very, very rarely theater spaces. As a choreographer, I always saw dance, movement in relationship to the space. I always saw it happening and traveling in a specific space. I am interested how an environment can influence a body or how a body can impact the space it finds itself in. In the beginning, I was mainly interested in public space as a space of encounter. Lately, I explore a lot of digital spaces as I see it for me really as an extension of public space. I make a differentiation between two different kind of projects: repeatable concepts and site-specific creations. I will explain a bit more in detail what I mean by that. Repeatable concepts are pieces I write for a kind of location. It's a location that can be found similarly in every different city. Of course, this work always needs a certain time of adaptation. The other kind of works are site-specific creations. And in my own practice, I talk from site-specific creations when I do them as a one-shot for one specific location only. That means an organizer will commission me to design a concept for his or her city, for a specific neighborhood, a space, a place, a park, a venue, an architecture, a museum, a facade. I will have a look at the place first, get inspired by the place, and then I will start to develop a concept for this place. Here are 3 short examples about site-specific creations I did. I collaborate with many different artists and art forms. Some of the artists I work with are in many different projects, and some other artists, they're only there for one specific project. Other than dance in general, there is always a visual element and or video in some form and sound. You can find these lines in all of my works. The visual element is usually used as a way to create a space or bring more attention to the existing space. Sound is usually used as an element of connecting. It brings the emotional layer of the work from the performance to the spectator. In some works we use sound as a way to draw attention to the work if we work in public space unannounced, for example, or to signal good viewpoints if the viewpoint is happening from a very distance to where the performance takes place. The sound space design is adapting to every piece. For every piece we have to reinvent a specific way how to create the sound, how to give the sound. The video is used as a visual element sometimes. Sometimes I use it more to expand the time frame of a work, the time frame I have together with an audience. It allows me, for example, to capture an intimate, spontaneous action in the city that I didn't want to have announced, and I can share it with a wider audience on a digital layer. All in all, for every piece we need to invent a new language with the artist. So we all need to really think out of the box and come up with a new way to make it work for this specific piece. I think that's the most challenging part of the work, but it's maybe also the most exciting. The work has different scales. From some projects we are like 4 people, for other projects we are up to 15 people. Obviously the work that tours more, they are smaller. The performances range between 30 to 60 minutes, but lately, since 2018, I started to work with loop structure. Physical compositions that allow the performance more freedom in the way the work is seen. The audience can opt in and out, and especially for a museum space or public space where everything is quite unpredictable and it's hard to design an experience, I find this loop idea much more in connection to the work, and it offers more a flexible timeline for the audience to delve into. And so when we do this loop, we do up to 5 hours of loops, so it's like long durational performances. Some of the works were thought as interventions with no specific public invited, working directly in the city and surprising the citizens. Sometimes I suggest something in between an invitation and an intervention, where an audience knows the time and the neighborhood, but they don't know where exactly the performance starts, and they have to look for us for a bit. For Tape Riot, we also used an online map, where for a specific time frame, the audience can trace us on a digital app, and they can find us in the neighborhood. Also, we like to go the other way around, where we put QR codes with our traces that we leave in the city next to the tape, and in this way the audience sees the traces and then it can find us digitally. So we like to think this in 2 ways. All in all, I'm interested in creating multi-layered works and I like this idea of having art seep into people's daily routine. We were supposed to come to Yerevan in May 2020, but of course due to the circumstances and the pandemic and the difficult situation, it was cancelled. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope I get to know Yerevan another time. Looking very much forward to. Thank you very much. Goodbye.